Before we begin, please keep in mind that I don't know what people don't know and can only answer the questions that people send me.
Hi, and welcome back to another video. If you have never seen my face before, my name is Giselle Waldner, and this is my life living on a Hutterite colony. I posted a short on YouTube a few weeks ago. What kind of questions you have about the Hutterite education system? And here are your answers. I'm actually in our school, as you might be able to tell, because I figured, you know what, a Q&A, that would go well in school. So here we are. And also, I want to say this because I want to be as open and honest about this as possible. I sent your questions to somebody from a different colony and he answered them for me. He doesn't want his face on YouTube, but this is his way of being in the video without showing his face. It's his contribution, and I appreciate his help. I don't know his answers by heart, so if you see me looking down, I'm looking down because I have the question in front of me and I also have his answers. Something I love to do when watching other people's Q&As, I like to put it on and treat it like a podcast, especially if it's one that is fairly long. I put it on and then I go about my work. So yeah, there's a tip for you. So before this gets too long, let's get started. Question number 1. I am envious of your sewing abilities. Is that something girls learn at school or at home, or a bit of both? Are there moms in the community that do not sew or who struggle with it? Some colonies offer home economics courses where girls do learn basic sewing skills. However, most of the sewing is taught at home, passed down from mother to daughter, etc. There are moms who struggle and they would call on help from relatives or someone from the colony to help them out. Question number 2. Do Hutterites in general educate their own, or do they hire certified teachers to come to the colony and teach the children? While most colonies in Manitoba have their own colony members as certified teachers, there are still quite a few non-Hutterite certified teachers who are hired by the local school districts to come and teach on the colonies. Question number 3. How do you deal with children with learning disabilities? How early do you try to determine if someone has a disability, such as dyslexia? And who designs the lessons for the learning disabled student? Children with learning disabilities and difficulties go through the same assessment and tests as any other child in the public system and are offered the same kind of supports as any other child of the colony. However, a Hutterite child with disabilities may have an advantage because many times the colony will send an adult to work one-on-one with specific children who are not disabled but are struggling academically. Question number 4. What is your favorite memory from when you were in school? I don't think I have a specific memory that is a favorite, but I enjoyed the Christmas concerts. Early in December, oh my goodness. You came in, everything was so lively. There was Christmas music going, practicing plays, and while they were practicing plays, we did a lot of cross-stitching. That's where I learned to cross-stitch, is in school, during plays. We made gingerbread houses here. I know I have pictures somewhere. If I have a picture of where we made gingerbread houses, I will try my best to include it, because that was just the most wonderful time for me. Question number 5. Special needs students. If you have a child with autism, what supports are available at the colony school? If a child is born with cerebral palsy and needs the service of a physiotherapist and other supportive services, how does the colony handle the needs of the child? Great topic, by the way. Thank you. But it's the same as question 3. We try our best to give the child the best education possible. Question number 6. Do you have trade classes or do you learn everything on the job? Example: electrical, machining, sheet metal, carpentry, refrigeration, welding, etc. Specialized classes such as electrical and carpentry are taken through the local college. In this case, Red River or Assiniboine colleges. Most colonies have their own Red Sea electricians, plumbers, and carpenters. Question number 7. As a pastor myself, my question relates to those chosen to lead your community spiritually. Do they do any specialized study or rely on traditions handed down? They rely mostly on traditions passed down and begin their ministry under the mentorship of an older minister. Hutterite ministers get together regularly to discuss issues and plan on how to best deal with specific issues. Question number 8. I'm curious about higher education. First off, is it allowed? Everyone stays, lives, works on the colony. What if someone is interested in studying for a career that isn't available or utilized on the colony? Are they allowed to pursue it? Higher education is allowed, especially if it is a career choice that can be utilized on the colony. Some colonies have allowed people to get their nursing degrees, and those who've graduated are usually hired by the local hospitals or health departments and do normal shift work as any other RN in the industry. Number 9, languages. I think you've mentioned in Hutterite schools, German and English are spoken. How do kids learn the Hutterite language? Also, do Hutterites learn any other languages? It is my understanding that a lot of Canadians speak French, and in the US, a lot of people speak Spanish. Almost 100% of the Hutterite kids are fully literate in both English and German. And both languages are formally taught from K to 12. Learning the Hutterite language, we only speak to them in the Hutterite language, and until they start school, they know the language. Question number 10. Does your school curriculum match the curriculum for the students in Canada? What if the kids want to be a doctor or a lawyer? Are they allowed to have those occupations and still belong to the community? All Hutterite schools follow the local curriculums. I have not heard of any Hutterites wanting to be doctors or lawyers, and I'm not sure how that would be perceived by the colonies. I'm assuming it would be a colony-to-colony decision and not a church-wide decision. Question number 11. How do you tackle kids who don't want to do the morning prayer? I assume you have it in your daily routine. I'm always impressed with how everyone there looks like they love company. Do you have kids on the spectrum, and how do they cope in a colony life, which is very much centered around being with people all day at a close, tight-knit group? As with any group of people, there are always those who do not enjoy following the daily routines of the colony. I guess that's why we, the Hutterites, have people that leave, just as in other church, religion, or domination. Question number 12. Do the classes on the colony ever take field trips? Do the students participate in activities or sports with students from other colonies or from public schools? Yes, we participate in inter-colony sports activities and have field trips just like any other school in Manitoba. Question number 13. After doing some research, I discovered that some colonies follow the same curriculum that the provincial schools follow. Does your colony do the same, or is there a specialized curriculum that is followed? It seems like college used to be only for those who plan to return to the colony to teach. Is that still the way of your colony, or can anyone go to college? Do you have members who go to college to study topics that would help build safe fire equipment, or are the skills needed only passed down from one generation to the next? Most colonies follow the local curriculum, although in the past 3 or 4 years, quite a few colonies have decided to privatize their education system and follow a Christian curriculum versus the Manitoba one. Yes, we have members who go to college for specific trades a specific colony may need. Question number 14. Once you get to a certain age and you decide you might want to go to a different school, private or public, is that an option? Also, can you go to college to be a nurse, bookkeeper, etc.? If the colony has a private school, the child attends a private school. If it's a public school, they attend a public education system. Question number 15. What is the structure of the day like for students? Just like any other child in the public school system, from 9 to 3:30. Number 16. How does someone become the leader of the colony? Do you vote on it, or is it inherited? Leaders are voted into their position. Number 17. Is going to a mainstream school an option? No, students go to school on the colony until they graduate from grade 12. Question number 18. Are the teachers qualified to teach the children? Yes, they are qualified. Number 19. What is the focus on schooling? In the UK, we have several areas that are mandatory to teach. Does your school teach a variety of subjects? Example, PE, language, home studies, etc. All subjects are mandatory from K to 8. After that, there are some choices as to what students can and need to take in order to gain mandatory credits for graduation. Question number 20. I'm from South Africa. Our school system is not so much different from the rest of the world. So how do you determine if a child passed a grade or not? Those guidelines are set out and followed as per your district or provincial standards. Question number 21. Do you get a higher allowance from the colony the more educated you are? No, we are all equally treated. Question number 22. Are children trained to do a specific job through the school, or are they trained through after-school on-the-job training? Who decides which vocation the young men of the colony enter? Young men usually rotate through different departments throughout the colony, and if a good fit or talent is discovered, then they will be encouraged to further their education and skills in that department. Question number 23. Does the colony pay for college? I know a lot of kids get grants and scholarships, but I was curious if the colony helps as well. Yes, the colony would pay. Question number 24. If you had the chance to go to university, what would you study? I've never really given that much thought, but video production would be interesting, but I don't think it would be my first choice. My first choice would probably be neuroscience. I'm fascinated with the brain. And actually, that reminds me, a while ago, I found a website where you can take online college courses for free. They are 6 to 10 week courses, maybe longer, maybe shorter, and I signed up to take a course on the brain. I don't want to be a doctor, but I am fascinated with the brain and I want to learn more. So this is where this website comes in. I use Coursera. It's wonderful. I'm only a few weeks in and I have already learned a lot and I am enjoying it. I'm wondering how many of you looking at me would have guessed that the brain would be the thing that fascinates me the most. How the brain works and all the parts of the brain, and then also psychology. Question number 25. Is English everyone's second language? Do you have members using sign language? Would it be ASL or a German version? We use the American Sign Language, just like everyone else does. Question number 26. What is the highest level of education anyone has achieved at the colony? If a girl shows interest in learning shop skills but doesn't want to learn domestic skills, would she be allowed to work in the shop and learn them instead of doing domestic work? Would boys who prefer to learn sewing and cooking over shop skills be allowed to do so as well? Does anyone ever choose to go to college and grad school to earn higher degrees? This question has been answered many times. Male and female alike can and do pursue higher education such as college degrees and university, depending on the colony and career path chosen. Question number 27. When a child shows they have a higher IQ or are especially smart in a certain subject, is there any classes available to accommodate them? This would depend on the local district and how supportive they are to such needs. Question number 28. Children that struggle with certain subjects, math was my children's struggle, mine too. Are there tutors, either older children or professionals? Every tool available to all students in other schools will also be available to the Hutterite child. Question number 29. Do you have any music in school? I know the choir is important to you, but are there any instrumental classes like piano or violin? Most colonies offer music classes, both instrumental and vocal. This again depends on the local school district and what they have available for resources. Question 30. Does your Hutterite education give you qualifications recognized by Canadian academia and industry? Yes, our students graduate with the exact same high school diploma as any other child in the district. I was reading these questions through before I sent them out to the person to help me answer them, and I remembered something from when I was in grade 10. We were taking applied math and pre-calc, and our teacher said to us, "This is a college entry-level course. I expect college entry-level assignments." And that was in grade 10. Question number 31. Do you go to technical colleges and work outside the community to bring income into the community? Not to bring income into the colony, as that person's skills and training would be utilized on the colony. Question number 32. Hi Giselle, I'm wondering what grade the school goes up to and if the students are able to get a diploma. K to 12, like any other school in Manitoba. And yes, we do get a high school diploma. Mine is at home somewheres. Question number 33. Given the size of your colony, I'm wondering about the practicalities of your education system. For example, what is the teacher to student ratio? Are teachers responsible for educating students in more than one grade level? If so, how is that administered? Most colony schools have multi-grade and multi-age classrooms. Class sizes are much smaller, but the teacher is also expected to cover more content and curriculum and grades. Question number 34. Do you follow creationism or the Big Bang Theory? I know the Bible teaches creationism, but do you allow sciences to help explain that? I grew up in a church that intertwined the two. We teach creationism. To my way of thinking, there is no intertwining of the two. Big Bang is basically circular thinking. Look at our solar system and the immensity of it all. There has to be a higher power. No other explanation in my way of thinking. Question number 35. Do your classes teach biblical inerrancy or do they use a standard curriculum that teaches evolution rather than creation? Many Christian families here in the US homeschool over that issue. We teach the biblical creation and not evolution. A teacher may present both points of view, but the focus is on creationism. Question number 36. What's the difference between men and women when it comes to pursuing higher education, like going to university? Are guys allowed to go? The higher education is beneficial to the community. Both men and women are able to pursue these goals. This, however, does depend on the colony and their level of conservatism. I think this is it for me. Hopefully I didn't miss any. I tried to get as many together as I could. I just remembered something. I thought at the end of this video it would be interesting if I included a tour of our school. The size of schools differ from colony to colony, and this is just our school. So allow me to quickly give you a tour of our school. Welcome to a tour of our school. This is where you come in. This is the kitchen. It actually used to be the office, but the office got moved and now this is just the kitchen. It's small, but it works for us. Storage room, gym equipment, cleaning supplies. So if we go up the hall and turn left, we have the library, and they also take piano lessons here. This loft is a beloved thing. Yeah. This is the middle years room. This is actually where I practice majority of my play. And how many grades? 2, 3, maybe. If we go here, this is where we came from. If we go here, this is the German class. And also a kindergarten class. It's the kindergarten and German class. And if we go through here, it could turn into kind of a gym. And the grades 1 to 3 are here. Now we're back out in the hall. And we're gonna go the direction we came, which is this way. So here is just basically the resource room, printer room. Yeah. And then if you go through here, this is the high school area. This is where I filmed the Q&A. There's my stuff. And yeah, there's the principal's office. And yeah, these are the high schoolers' computers. Along that wall, along that wall. On our colony, the high schoolers each have their own computer. Until we graduate high school, this is our computer. But as soon as we graduate, we pass it on to somebody else. Somebody working on a assignment. And then these are the ITV classes. So I'll step outside so the blowing is not so loud. But basically, the ITV classes get treated like the Zoom classes. The ITV classes have been around for decades, and the way they work is there is one teacher with multiple students. The teacher's in a different colony. All the students are in different colonies, and then she teaches over the air, and on this screen there's the teacher. So the teacher can then teach different subjects to different students in different colonies, like a lot of students. And here is why can I not find light switches? Yeah, that is our school. I hope it answered a lot of your questions, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Most colonies follow the local there's that word again. I cannot pronounce these words, help. We teach the biblical creation, not to bring in the qualifications recognized by be able to speak. Question number 34. Do you follow creation? I need my phone. I need to know how to say this word. I just hope my mic is working. Does your school curriculum, all Hutterite schools follow the local curriculum? I'm messing up this word. All Hutterite schools follow the local curriculums. Because, yeah. I feel like somebody is coming. I do not want to be talking when somebody shows up. So, what's that?